What's up, guys? Ben here, bringing you another video today. It is Thursday afternoon / evening. It looks like it's late at night. It's like 5 p.m. It gets dark early. Anyway, the CDL week 1 starts on Friday, aka tomorrow. So I wanted to make my usual weekly prediction video. I know I gave some of these predictions on the flank, on scrap time. So you're gonna watch those episodes already, especially scrap time, which is on this channel. Make sure you go check that out. But I wanted to do my normal prediction video. Let's dive in. I'll give you all my picks this first week of matches. First off, PSA, we do have a flank group. It's been here now for a while, so make sure you join and see how you rank amongst all of the fans of the flank. To join the leaderboard, you click this join the leaderboard button. You see that the ID is right here, password is right here, so make sure you J up. There's actually a good amount of people in here. Like 700 people in there, so make sure you join if you're not already in there to get your predictions locked in. All right, so we've got 4 matches every day. I don't think I'm going to use any of my points boosts this week. I think I want to wait probably until like week 3, week 4 to really get a feel for the split before we use those. So let's dive in. We're going to start with the first matchup. It is Minnesota Rocker versus Los Angeles Gorilla Mates. I'm just calling them LAG, man. Or LAG Mates. I'm not saying that full name. I don't really know what to think about this one. LAG is kind of favored right now in this matchup. And if we look at the fan voting here, it's about 67-32 in favor of LAG. But it's just a weird one. It's a week 1 and we just haven't seen these teams play. And I'm going to pick an upset in this one. I'm going to go Minnesota Rocker game 5. I might be wrong, but I feel like this one's a pick 'em. Everybody's going to pick LAG. I'm going to try and do something a little bit different. I'll go with Minnesota, but I'm not super confident in this one. This one I am super confident in, though. Optic versus Boston. I would be very surprised if Optic lose. And yeah, the fans, listen, they're Optic fans, but that's kind of a crazy split. I'm going to give Boston a map. I don't think this will be a clean 3-0 for Optic. I'm going to go with Optic Texas 3, Boston 1. Carolina versus Vegas. There's upset potential for Vegas if Carolina are as lackluster at times as I've heard in practice, but I do think Carolina will lock in for this one and take this out 3-1. I think they'll lose like a map 2 or a map 3, but I just think Vegas's lack of experience at this level on hard point, I think is going to hurt them in this series. And then Toronto versus FaZe, last match 7:30. This one could be fun. I'm curious to see overall prediction. 93-7 I think is not a fair split as to how close this match might be. I think a lot of maps are going to be really, really close, and I actually have FaZe taking it in a game 5. I could see FaZe taking it 3-1 to be honest, but to be safe, I'm going to go 3-2. Because FaZe do play a lot of grueling series at the beginning of the year, but I think they'll clutch up. All right, so that's day 1. Let's talk day 2. Miami versus the Vegas Falcons. Tough matchup for Vegas, man. A lot of matches are gonna be tough ones. I've heard Miami's been good in practice, but do I want to give Vegas a map? I'm gonna give Vegas a map. I think this could be a 3-0, but I'm gonna give Vegas a map and say Miami 3. Vegas 1. All right, we keep it moving and grooving. Boston Breach versus the Minnesota Rocker. Boston's actually favored on the books in this one, but the fans have it 60-30 for Boston. This is another gruely. I'm going to say Minnesota game 5. I probably shouldn't do that. You know what I might do now? There's no way Minnesota goes 2-0. I'm doing this, bro. I'm switching week 1. I'm switching LAG 3, Minnesota 2, and I'm doing Minnesota 3, Boston 2. I don't see Boston winning this one. I think Minnesota will clutch it, but this could also be a classic Minnesota lose 2 game 5s like we saw a lot last year. Who knows? Next up, we have Toronto versus Vancouver. A really tough one for the online fans here. Toronto's favored, basically 20. I am going to say Toronto 3, Vancouver 1, but I won't be surprised if Vancouver do get the upset here. We just don't have a good read on teams, but I think if I do it based on how I think teams rank right now, I would say that I would take Toronto or Vancouver, but I actually think this could be a pretty close one. Again, we just don't know people's best maps, worst maps. Kind of hard to predict, but I think Toronto should have more about them, more firepower. And then an absolute fun one at the end here. Cloud9 versus LA Thieves, 93-7. Does not, again, accurately predict how close I think this series might be. I'm saying Thieves 3-1, but I think all the maps are going to be pretty close, and Cloud9 just kind of let this series get away from them, but it's a fun one, I think. All right, finally, Carolina versus LAG to start off the last day. First match of 4. Man, I don't know how to predict this one. This could be a real, and I think Sam Octane used this phrase on scrap time yesterday when we recorded it. Like, this could be a real mud fight of a match where teams just kind of, just kind of duking it out, just making a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna say Carolina taking the game 5, but I think this one is super hard to predict. You could just toss a coin, I think. This is another tough one to predict. Vancouver versus the Miami Heretics. Right now on the books, Vancouver is favored 175, Miami plus 125, but I mean, it's basically pretty close. And this can move to a pick'em by Sunday afternoon when this match happens. The fans have it 66-33 Vancouver. I'm going to go with the Vancouver game 5 in this one. But it's just like with the Carolina LAG one. I think the Call of Duty will be a lot better in this match than that one. But these are two teams about the same level. We don't really know the matchups, don't know the map combo, just don't know form yet. And I think it's kind of tough to really fill out these pick'ems, coin flip type pick'em right here. But this next one, I think there is definitely a skill diff. Optic Texas versus Cloud9. 95-5, I think, again, is kind of insane. You know what I'm going to say is I think Cloud9 are going to lose this in the game 5. I think Optic are going to let Cloud9 hang around this series. And I think Optic will clutch up, although in a similar fixture last year in the beginning of the season, the way this played out is that subliners at the time clutched up in a game 5 terminal. So hopefully my prediction, which is the opposite of that, ages well, and it doesn't actually play out the way it did last year, where Optic is just kind of disappointed with the decisions they make in the later rounds of that game 5 surge. And then the final match, and our first match we're going to see in the season, you know, not case on land, obviously, the real regular season between two top 3 teams. The pick'ems right now are 60-40 in the way of Thieves. And LA Thieves in general, like Scrap versus FaZe, Scrap versus Zach, he's had a pretty good head-to-head, although FaZe did beat them online last year. Kind of hard for me to read this matchup. I'm going to say LA Thieves take a game 5 against FaZe. But I think this one could be a heater. It could be some of the best COD we've seen all year. And it just comes down to best maps and modes. And I don't think these teams have probably scrimmed each other yet because they play first weekend. So they probably don't have a good read on their quality maps. So who knows? But I think we're going to see this matchup a lot throughout the year. Review the picks. LAG 3, Minnesota 2. We changed that on the fly. Sorry. Optic 3, Boston 1. Should be a 3-0, but I'm going to give Boston a map because it's early. Carolina 3, Vegas Falcons 1. I don't think even in the middle of the season I'm going to give this a 3-0. I think Vegas is always going to be good money to steal one against Carolina because they're inconsistent. FaZe 3-2 against Toronto. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on FaZe on both these game 5s. I don't know. Maybe I am. Miami 3, Vegas 1. Feel good about that. Minnesota 3, Boston 2. Just don't know how to predict that series. Toronto 3, Vancouver 1. These 3-1 over Cloud9 could be a 3-0. Again, I'm giving Cloud9 a map because it's early and, you know, but I think in the middle of the season, this is a 3-0 type series. And then 2 pick'ems with Carolina and Vancouver taking their respective matchups. Optic beating Cloud9 in game 5 and Thieves beating FaZe in game 5. I'm predicting 4 game 5s on Sunday. There's no way that happens, but we're giving it a go. I'm locking in the predictions, and there you go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the video. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. If you're watching this on like Friday morning, I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube probably in the same time tomorrow doing Coffee and COD and then transitioning to Watch Party rather. Make sure you check that out. I'm really excited for the CDL to start tomorrow. We'll be covering on the Watch Parties. We'll be covering on the flank, so I'm really I've been waiting a while for this to start. So I assume you all feel the same way. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.